Alright, for our second patterns video, we're going to be looking at growing patterns or geometric patterns. So growing patterns are a pattern that increases or decreases by a constant amount. So it's going to be the same amount every single time, whether it's increasing or decreasing. So if we look at this first example, we have 3 sets of blocks, and we're going to be finding the 4th. So when we are doing geometric or growing patterns, step 1, does it grow or shrink? So in this case, we can see that each time our figure is getting smaller. So it is shrinking or decreasing. Struggled a little bit with that vocabulary yesterday, so let's make sure we keep using it. Then, step number 2 is to figure out by how much is it decreasing. So if we look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks in figure number 1. In figure number 2, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. And in number 3, we have 1, 2, 3 blocks. So it looks to me like we are decreasing by 2 blocks each time. So decreasing by 2 blocks each time. And then step number 3 is going to be to figure out how many cubes would be in the 4th figure. Well, if we left off at 3 blocks, and we're decreasing by 2, taking 2 blocks away, we're only going to have 1 little block left. So how many cubes are in the 4th figure? 1 block. I started using blocks, so I'm going to finish with it even though the question says cubes. So we can see this information presented another way. We can see it as pictures, picture representations, but we could also see this information represented in a table. So we're going to try that out now so we can see how they connect to one another. So here's my table. I have an in and an out. If we notice by in, we have the letter X. X means any value that is going into my table. Out has the letter Y. Y is going to be whatever is coming out. So think of this table as a machine. If we put in X, we get out Y. So the machine is going to do something to our numbers every time we put 1 in. So our first figure had 7 blocks in it. We already know it's decreasing by 2, so if my rule here is to decrease by 2, I can write minus 2, because that's what's going on in my machine, and out comes our 5. So I put 7 in to the machine, 5 came out. So I'm going to do that again. 5 goes into the machine, the same thing happens, I decrease by 2, and 3 comes out. If I do that one more time, put 3 into my machine, same thing happens, 2 blocks are taken away, 1 comes out. So to finish my sentence down here, it says the rule is to decrease by 2. So if I put X number in, I will get Y number out. I put 7 in, I got 5 out. So you're going to start seeing the letters X and Y and some symbols and things in your math, especially right now when we are doing patterns. So get used to seeing those X's and Y's and thinking about X, what you put in, Y, what you get out. So before we move on, I want